Are men terrified of a secure relationship? We're going to dive into this conversation today. Now, to share with you where this was birthed, I want to note that I went through a divorce almost 20 years ago. And I can't begin to tell you how much I heard the following from men in the dating marketplace, that women are crazy. And while in relationship, I should say, and while some might that might refer to some women who have mood swings. I think what they were primarily talking about was unhealthy relationship patterns. And this is why some men prepare themselves for confrontation with women. But what happens when a man encounters an emotionally stable woman? If he's not emotionally stable, we're going to dive into 5 things that may happen for that man. But I want to share with you that there's a lot of for the women who are watching this and for the men that are watching this as well. There's a lot of rhetoric out there, particularly directed towards men, how women have toxic behavior, how women have crazy behavior, that they have superficial behavior. And this has been certainly amplified since the invention of social media and the need to be, influencer out in the marketplace. Influencer on the marketplace. I think you know where I'm going with this. But certainly there's a lot of conversation around how women are entitled. This is the conversation that men are listening to, that they'll lose all their money if they get divorced, that women only care about the top 5% of men in the dating marketplace. And that's discouraged a lot of men to be in relationship. Hence why I say men are emotionally preparing themselves for the worst. But the reality is there's a lot of good people out there. I just think they're bad daters. And sure, it's a dysfunctional marketplace out there. It's the Hunger Games out there. And I'm not saying that as a scare tactic. I'm just here to draw attention that from both men and women, there are emotionally wounded people out in the dating marketplace that seek companionship, connection, and sex, but they aren't capable of a solid commitment. I'm going to repeat that. They're not capable of solid commitment. I think when a person's wounds exceeds their capacity, their desire, their vision for a relationship, when their fears, their wounds, or even their fantasy, I think a lot of people, both men and women alike, have this delusion about themselves. They probably overvalue their capacity to be in relationship or overvalue what they can attract in relationship, hence the fantasy, or that they're holding out for the best. And year after year goes by, and they find themselves single 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years. In fact, recently I had a video where men were commenting how they've been single for decades because they've been disappointed with their experiences with women. But let me just say this for the men watching, you guys have been brainwashed by a lot of rhetoric out there. And for the women watching this, I just want to share that we have a wounded population of women just as much as we do men. And so this is why I'm a big proponent of doing the inner work, by doing to heal childhood wounds and adult traumas to make you better prepared for a relationship. But why are men terrified of a secure relationship? Well, again, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why a man might be fearful of it if he's not in a stable place himself. By the way, I have a hair that's here somewhere and I just need to wipe this off of me. Please excuse me. So the first fear that a man has is fear of losing his freedom, fear of losing his freedom. You see, a secure relationship often requires consistency, accountability, and emotional availability. And some men fear that commitment at that level means losing independence, spontaneity, and control over their lives. Now, here's the thing. Genuine relationship-ready men aren't afraid of this. Men who have done the work to heal childhood wounds and adult traumas, men who are going to therapy, men that do personal development work, spiritual work. See, they're not afraid of this, particularly the men that are committed to commitment. Now, not all men are committed to commitment. Not all men want commitment. But those men that are genuinely committed to commitment, they don't have a fear of losing their freedom because they recognize that a relationship with another person actually expands their life. It doesn't constrict their life. And yet many men have bought into this notion that women aren't good for them. In fact, there's a whole movement called Men Going Their Own Way. There's a red pill movement that basically criticizes women. And sadly, for those of you ladies watching, you're talking to a lot of brainwashed men. And I can recognize from your vantage point how frustrating that is, because it's hard enough to find someone who isn't stuck in fear, stuck in fantasy, stuck in past relationships. But God forbid, particularly the men out there that are being brainwashed by so much rhetoric. And guys, if you're watching this right now, I know you're going to criticize me and to suggest that is valid. But let me just say this. Most women and men, as I said before, are good people. They're good people. Most people want love deep down in their soul. We're just not good at relationships. In fact, I think it was James Sexton that said marriage is a failed technology or a weak technology. See, people aren't good at relationships. They haven't read the books like 8 Dates by Doctors John and Julie Gottman. I highly recommend reading this book. It's a great blueprint for beginning a relationship with another person. You may want to read this book as well. Let me find this one. Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. By the way, all the books I recommend are listed below in Jonathan Recommend Books. Why I'm sharing this with you is, look at, for the guys that are watching this that you think you're such good communicators, most likely you're not. And ladies, just because you want a relationship doesn't make you any better prepared to be in a relationship. We have a very dysfunctional dating marketplace with humans with poor emotional maturity and weak relationship skills. Until you've done a deep dive into healing oneself, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And that's what I've observed in the dating marketplace today. See, men are terrified of secure relationships, not just for losing their fear of freedom, but number two, unfamiliarity with emotional safety. Unfamiliarity with emotional safety. If a man grew up with chaos, with criticism or abandonment, the calmness of a secure relationship can feel foreign or even suspicious to a man. Let me repeat that. If a man grew up with chaos, criticism, or abandonment, the calmness of a secure relationship can feel foreign or even suspicious. And by the way, for you men watching, this is so true for women as well. Humans are on guard right now. They're reluctant to open up because they're suspicious if they've had 1, 2, or 3 bad relationships in their lives. And God forbid they had a traumatic childhood growing up, unfamiliarity with emotional safety. And let me just say this, relationship, for the women watching this and for the guys watching this too, relationship ready men are prepared. They've done the personal development, self-help, spiritual work. They've read books like here, how about this book? Look at this title, How to Be an Adult in Relationship. Guys, if you're watching this, and when I say guys, I mean men, you all act like you know your shit when it comes to relationships, but trust me, many of you are children in relationship, and ladies, you're no picnic either. We have a wounded walking population in the dating marketplace, and many of them aren't grown up. And so I'm merely suggesting, why not work on oneself, instead of expecting that the relationship is going to bring you joy. Here in the United States, we are suckling on the nipple of, I need you to love me so I can feel good about myself. I need you to like me so I can feel good about myself. I need you to validate me all the time so I can feel good about myself. We are suckling on the nipple of that. And no wonder we are in complication in the dating marketplace. And by the way, there's so much arrogance going on, so much vanity going on, so many expectations centered around attraction, entertainment, romance, and physical connection. No wonder people aren't joining up in genuine love with one another. And if I'm screaming at the top of my lungs right now, please forgive me. By the way, I need to get a sip of water because I know I'm screaming right now, or I'm yelling right now because I'm so passionate about creating a wake-up call for people. Now, here's one, number 3, and I can personally relate to this. Fear of being truly seen. Fear of being truly seen. A secure relationship exposes vulnerabilities. There's no hiding behind bravado, work, or distractions. Let me repeat that. There's no hiding behind bravado, work, or distractions. Being seen at the depths can be terrifying if he worries about not being enough or being rejected once the mask comes off. I know this from personal experience. You know, I have my fears, my insecurities, my doubts, my negative patterns, my limiting beliefs. And I have been in a circumstance where I wonder if that was the reason why my last partner ended the relationship. Now, some of the men watching, well, if you're a weak guy, then she should leave you. Folks, insecurity is we human beings, men and women alike, are riddled with insecurities. And to be seen for that, to be vulnerable, quite frankly, as Brene Brown talks about, is true courage. And for the guys watching this, vulnerability is true courage. And when you're with a secure woman, she doesn't run when you share your genuine fears, so long as you're not stuck in them, and so long as you're not in a repeating pattern over and over, so long as you're making effort to grow past your negative patterns, your limiting beliefs, so long as you're making effort. And let me just say this, a relationship-ready man is prepared. He wants to grow past his limitations. He's prepared to be seen by someone. But a lot of men are so terrified of truly being seen. And a lot of them hide behind work. They hide behind bravado. They hide behind distractions. Ladies, have you ever experienced a man that's hidden behind his work, hidden behind his distractions? I'm sure you have. And no wonder you found yourself disappointed. For the guys watching, let me tell you, there is an abundance of women who are genuinely sincere and secure enough to be in relationship. They're not crazy, as my friend said to me early on. There are genuinely good women, and there are genuinely good men out there. It takes a little bit of effort to find it, but they exist. Number 4, past traumas and old baggage heartbreak, or baggage, old heartbreak. Or let me rephrase that, past traumas and baggage, okay? Old heartbreak, betrayal, toxic dynamics can leave scars. When a woman offers a steady love, it can trigger unresolved wounds, leading to withdrawal or sabotage as a form of self-protection. I'm going to share from my own personal experience as well. I've got past traumas. I've got baggage from my last relationship, and being in a steady can trigger those unresolved because I'm not being triggered in this relationship, but not being triggered triggers me. I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I'm preparing for the worst. And a lot of men operate this way. Guys, let me just say this, whether it's a man or woman, and when I say guys, I mean men right now. Okay, men, whether it's a man or woman, we all have baggage. We all have stuff, particularly those of us in midlife. And I say midlife is after baby making years and before retirement. That's the demographic I speak to. I'm not speaking to a 20 or 30-year-old demographic. They're oftentimes in the baby making years of their life. It's a lot different for us in midlife. And our past traumas and baggage can affect us. Heartbreak, betrayal, toxic dynamics can leave scars, as I said before. And when a woman offers that steady love, it can be triggering, it can be jarring. But let me tell you, that's what you deeply want, men that you're listening to this. And women, I know you want to give that secure space for a man. Because within a secure relationship, you feel grounded, you feel present, you feel connected to one another. And number 5, the pressure of expectations. Men often carry internalized beliefs that they must prove and perform and protect. In a secure relationship, even love is shared. The pressure of not failing her can be overwhelming and keep men from leaning fully in. Yes, the pressure of expectations cause a lot of men to go partway into a relationship, just that basic companionship, that basic connection, that basic physical connection or sex, but not go all in emotionally, not go all in from that place of want to take care of you. Because ultimately, folks, in my opinion, we have casual relationships and we have serious relationships. Let's exclude hooking up, friends with benefits, and situationships. Casual, there's no direction. There's no destination. It's living in the moment. A serious relationship has a destination in mind. It's about going all in. And all in means I want to take care of you when things get rough. And sadly, a lot of men aren't prepared for this. And this is why they're terrified of secure relationships. But a man who's relationship ready, a man where his desire, his vision, his capacity exceeds his fears, his past hurts, and even his fantasies. That relationship ready man, when he meets a secure woman, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. And I recognize that many of you are watching this say, God, this sounds so rare. Yeah, it might feel rare, but let me just tell you, there are secure relationships that are being formed every day. And it starts by being grounded within yourself. It starts by a healthy dose of what I talk about in my book, What the Heck is Self-Love Anyway? A Journey of Personal Development, Self-Help, Spiritual Work. I highly recommend getting them out in my book. It's listed below. Because when you have a healthy dose of self-love and two people who genuinely love themselves, and I don't mean from that selfish, vanity, narcissistic way, but an empowered, sovereign way, when those two people get together from a secure point, and let me just tell you, they have a juicy, delicious, healthy, happy relationship. Is this sinking in? Is this resonating with you? Please let me know if it is. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Post a comment below. I do my best to read them all in the first 24 hours. As always, if you find value in my videos, please hit that like button. Please share this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell and hit that hype bell as well to hype this video out. And again, if you want to connect with me, there's links below to schedule a discovery call with me to see if working with a coach is right for you. There's links to join my group called Midlife Love Mastery. There's links to get all the books I recommend listed below.